Pretty good demonstration, Jason. And Bill, we take a look at the rules here. And, of course, the best time wins, but there are other factors. And there they are. And you heard about the penalties. You got to hit the blocking sled. And coming up, our first contestant will be Julius Jones, who's a running back and a kick returner from Notre Dame. And here is Julius Jones from Notre Dame. He's had a great career.
Unbelievable career down there. Set the Notre Dame mark for single-game rushing yards against my alma mater. 262 yards. Not only that, he ranks fourth all-time, Dick, on the Notre Dame rushing list.
And he was their most valuable player this year. So, Julius Jones, we've seen the four quarterbacks. Now here are the backs and receivers. I heard Jason talk a lot about the dummies. I hope we don't have too many dummies out here as we try to establish the time. And Julius Jones of Notre Dame, who's from Big Stone Gap,
flag came out.
Virginia. Yep, that's going to be a second off his time, whatever it is. All right, Julius Jones of Notre Dame with a smile on his face, and his teammate Rod Rutherford of Pittsburgh. And he establishes the time to beat. So there he is with the final time of 26.6, and had the penalty, as you pointed out, as we take a look at Reggie Williams, wide receiver from the University of Washington, who was born in Godstuhl, Germany.
You know, he's coming out of school early, actually. He's only had 3 seasons as a receiver. And he holds all the receiving records for the University of Washington in only 3 years.
And now we're ready for Reggie Williams of the University of Washington after Julius Jones established his time of 26.6. So here is Reggie Williams getting set. And as Bill mentioned, establishing most of the University of Washington records in his great career.
You know, I heard so much about the Williamses throughout the college season this year, with Reggie up in Washington and Mike Williams down at USC, and of course Roy Williams in Texas. These guys put up big-time numbers.
He dominated the wide receiving area. And here comes the finale, Reggie Williams of the University of Washington.
Nice job.
And Reggie Williams with his teammate, Jared Lorenzen of Kentucky.
Look at that, like a sewing machine, huh?
Very patient.
You know, they're going to have to extend that little landing zone there. These guys keep on getting further and further over the hurdle.
And his time of 27.02, so Julius Jones of Notre Dame, who is being teamed with Rod Rutherford. That was good for Rod Rutherford, who was fourth in the quarterback. And here is Roy Williams of the University of Texas, hometown state from Austin. Here's what he did.
Yeah, what didn't he do down there? This guy was simply amazing. 3-time all Big 12 selection. A finalist, of course, for the Blitnikoff Award. You know, there's some great receivers coming out in the draft this year. It's real exciting for the NFL.
He may be second to Fitzgerald of Pittsburgh. And here is Roy Williams, who is from Odessa, Texas, 6'4", so he's got the size and projected to go very high in the draft.
I think these guys are worried about that wet field, too. You don't see anybody burning it, do you?
Well, you know, as long as you don't make a mistake. You know, the first competitor, Julius Jones, lost his second, but he is the leader right now. And here is Roy Williams concluding his performance in the Marines Obstacle Rush. The third of our 4 competitors. We saw the quarterbacks in the first event, and his time is an even 27 seconds. So Roy Williams right now would be in second place. And here is Chris Perry of the University of Michigan.
Exciting, explosive running back that I don't know if a lot of people really know much about. I can foresee this guy doing some big things when he hits the NFL. You talk about the records he has and the things, the numbers he's put up in his career at Michigan. And to think after all that, he's teamed with a Michigan State guy here.
Yeah, well, it's the Big Ten Michigan entry, and Chris Perry is underway. Won the Doak Walker Award as the nation's best running back.
He's going to break the time. He's got it.
Julius Jones, our leader right now, 26.60. And you remember,
no flags.
Yep, no flags. And if you finish first and your team does, you get 10 points. 8 to the second place performer, 7 for third, and 6 for fourth. pretty good time for Chris Perry, the running back from Michigan, whose team lost to USC in the Rose Bowl.
I think it was shattered. You know, I could tell right away because he was so explosive coming out of the gauntlet and underneath that trampoline thing where you had crawled out of there. That's where he made up most of his time.
So Perry is going to have our fastest time. Jeff Smoker was number 1. Those teams are smoking, Jason. Huh?
The Big Ten is rolling, Dick. Chris, outstanding run.
Yeah, it was all right.
Felt pretty good out there?
No, it's too cold to feel good out here, but I tried.
It looked good. You blew the field away. Back to Dick.